Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language. And I think Jovi, he reminds me of, I've been watching too much 1883.
Oh, God. Okay.
He is a wild Mustang, and you don't break a wild Mustang. You
I
just
see.
let them be who they are. You know, you don't
See.
break them. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where we pray to Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth and the baby manger in heaven, Allah, Christ, God, Zeus, whatever you believe in, that we get to see Mr. Hall J. Pass this season.
I do believe we've manifested it. Hall J. Pass has entered the chat. He has made his way to Florida, and hopefully we get to meet him.
Can we discuss what a baller move it is that she unblocks him and he literally hops on a fucking plane? Do you know how expensive that ticket probably was?
Oh, I'm sure.
And he flies to the Florida Keys.
Right.
Within a day.
I'm feeling like there's some timeline fraud in here.
Of course, there has to be.
Because there's no way. Well, first, we don't know where Hall J. Pass lives. I presume he lives in Utah near her. That would make sense.
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Maybe he lives in Miami.
Oh, if he lives in Miami, that's a
couple-hour drive.
Jump.
Yeah, it's a couple-hour drive. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, she invited her boyfriend to bang during her marriage therapy retreat.
It's also a baller move to cheat on your husband during marriage therapy. You're literally there to talk about his cheating. So there's that. Okay, so announcements, Amanda.
Yes.
I would like to thank, this is the third time we're doing this, guys. We've had some technical difficulties.
For some reason.
Each time, my enthusiasm drops a little bit.
I don't know what's happening. The internet gods are not playing nicely with us this morning.
No. So I want to thank Matt Marr, who joined us on our last episode. In case you did not hear it, go listen to it. It was fantastic. We love ourselves some Matty Marr.
Yes.
He's amazing. He's insightful. He's funny. You know, all the things that we love him for on Reality Gaze.
Top-notch human.
Top-notch human. And we are working on getting that elusive poodle over here.
We need some poodle love to discuss the Sister Wives folks, because I think he has a lot of thoughts about what's not happening and what is happening. Because nothing's happening, but everything's happening.
Right. And that brings me to, we also had a crossover with Ace and Caitlin from Sister Wives, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided. And that was just kind of a mismatch, potpourri kind of episode.
A circling the donkey round robin situation where we just chatted all things Sister Wives and our theories and a couple great would you rathers. And some of which, landed in on Bird Box. So we have a version on our feed. If you are a Patreon member of Kate and Aislinn, you'll hear Kate. He did it again. Ace and Caitlin. I did Kate and Aislinn. Ace and Caitlin. If you're on their Patreon, you'll hear a less edited version of what we talked about.
More filmed, more trash.
Yeah, a little bit more trashy. But it was great. And if you happen to have found us via if you're a trash bag, welcome. We are happy. We support trash bags being backdoor friends.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Somebody logged into Backdoor Friends and said, I'm a sissy backdoor friend.
I saw that.
And I was like, I like when they identify where they came from. I know we have a ton of bunky backdoor friends.
We do. A lot of folks, because when you all if you've never joined a Facebook group that's private before, you have to answer some questions. And lots of folks say, heard you on Pink Shade, heard you on Hey Bunky. And that's how they found us. But yeah, I mean, we find people who found about us by our friends Reality Gaze. And now we have our friends Ace and Caitlin.
Yay.
We're just making friends all over the place while we talk shit about Cody Brown.
Meeting friends all over the place.
That's right.
So Mr. Hall J. Pass flew to Florida.
Yes.
I agree with you. We don't know if this made the cut, but Amanda put a theory forward that there was some timeline fraud. Yeah. And that he may have been in the Keys the entire time.
Who knows? Because what it sounded like that morning, well, we'll talk about it in detail, but we'll once we get to the recap of it, we'll talk about why I do not think that the timeline is working.
Are you accusing Matt Sharp of fraud?
There might be a little fraudacity happening here. Just a little. Just a little. We
Little
don't want to
bit.
speak
Little.
ill of the God that is Matt Sharp.
Keep raining your gifts upon us,
That's
Matt
right.
Sharp.
That's
We are
right.
here for it.
Yeah, I don't know how you
All
keep
right.
coming up with this, but you do.
He's like, what other trashy element of society has not been on our screens before? Let me find it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump right into 90 Day Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 9. Where did you go last night?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So we open with this scene of Kalani and Liz. And Liz is in the pool, and she looks cold.
She does.
You know, yeah. And Liz says she is drawn to Kalani and really likes her energy, but they haven't had a lot of one-on-one time.
I think I too would be drawn to Kalani's energy.
Kalani is like Mother Earth.
She
like,
is.
I'm just drawn to her.
She's salt of the earth kind of people. Yeah, there's something about her that's magnetic.
I agree. So they sit down and they have a so they sit down and talk by the pool.
They sit down and have
a sit down. And Liz is like, were you being flirty with Asuelu, you know, when he got naked and started jamming his dick in your face? Was that flirting?
Was that flirting? Version of flirting.
Which tells us a lot about her relationship with Small Ed, because is it how they flirt? Yeah, I don't know. Ugh. So Kalani's like, I was drunk. And, you know. So then she tells Liz about the cheating, like all of it.
All of it. And Liz is like,
what? Liz, as Kyle Cray says, has Pikachu face.
Oh, yeah. She totally has Pikachu face.
I mean, she is speechless.
Yes.
And she tells the camera, Asuelu is a piece of shit. And I would be planning Small Ed's obituary if I were in her shoes.
Except you know
you're in her shoes, girl.
Yeah, except you know she wouldn't, because
you've been in her shoes.
Yeah. You can talk a really big game, girl, when it's not about you.
Yeah, exactly. So Kalani says, something has happened to me and he's in the friend zone and I can't get him out of it.
She's done.
She's done. She's done.
Done. She's got the itch. She's done.
Liz says, he's lucky he's even in the fucking friend zone. And I think the only reason Kalani has Asuelu in the friend zone is because she feels sorry for him.
Yeah. And he is the father of her children.
Is he a real father, though?
Well, she wants him to be. He's not really doing it, but she kind of pretends like he is.
Let's face it, he is Cody Brown level Savannah parenting at this point.
Pretty much. Well, he does
like, oh, hey, how are you, kid?
He does, and then with the kids.
I think that's for her benefit.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe he's not a whole lot better than a glorified babysitter.
Maybe. We don't know. This is pure speculation. All right. So Liz asks, so Kalani says that she caught him deleting messages this morning and it was weird. And remember what Amanda and I told you guys, if you have that little voice inside of you that says something ain't mathin' here, this math ain't mathin', you need to follow that voice. Follow that voice. And whatever you find, do not be gaslit.
Do not be, do not be gaslit.
What were we calling it? Deflecting. Deflect the deflection.
That's right.
Yes. Wonder Woman with the bracelet. All right. So she says that after she saw him doing that, she immediately unblocked Hall J Pass.
Right. And I still have the question, because we saw her block Hall J Pass.
You mean we saw her hold Asuelu's little finger and press the block button?
Did she tell him that she was blocking him before she did it? Or did she just disappear?
I think 100% she told him.
I have to think so, because she reappears, she unblocks him, she must message him right away, and he immediately supposedly declares his undying love for her. So he wouldn't have done that if she just disappeared.
So Liz is like, who is this guy? And Kalani just has this huge smile on her face.
She does. And Liz points it out. She's like, girl, that smile tells me everything I need to know about this gentleman.
She says his name is Dallas, which we will not be calling him that.
No, he's called J Pass. But we knew his name was Dallas.
And they've known each other for 2 months. And she says they have a really good thing going, and she's very torn. Now, we all know Kalani needs to be alone.
That's right.
However, if this is what it takes to get her out of this terrible marriage,
fine.
I'm all for it.
I am too. If this is the thing that the launch pad she needs to like, pa-ching, like her, like on a, why can't I think of what they're called?
Trampoline?
Thank you. Ching, right up. I couldn't think of trampoline. Jesus. Ching, right up. It's all good.
No, it's like no. It's like when little Carrie Strug or whatever her name was running, and she bounces on that thing and then gets on the parallel horse or whatever.
No. Pummel horse.
Gymnasts everywhere are screaming.
Vault. That's what it's called. You do the vault thing. Yes. Oh God! If poor Ace listens to this, he's going to have a conniption.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, she says she's torn and she has to work super hard with the Asuelu just to get anything through the old pipelines.
It's blood from a stone over there.
He doesn't really have to work with Dallas. Like, everything lubes itself. Oh, that's how this works. I don't need lube.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Good to know.
So Liz says the smile and the light in your eyes says it all. I remember, you have fallen in love way more recently than I have.
Correct.
Do you remember not being able to wipe that smile off your face?
And I hadn't told anybody that I was dating because it was June of 2020. Should I have been dating? Probably not.
Gotcha.
So I was
Garrison Brown.
Yeah, I was real quiet about it for a little while, but I think my friends were starting to notice, and then finally one day I had to spill the beans. During early COVID, my friends and I every Saturday night would have a Zoom at like 8:00, and whoever was available would log on, and we'd all bring our glasses of wine or beer or whatever, and just chit chat. So that's where I had to let the thing out of bed. But apparently, the smile was the thing.
I just remember having these big smiles on our faces, Timmy's and mine. And so we started dating September 3rd, and my grandmother died September 24th, and his grandmother died October 2nd.
Oh, wow.
And I remember being at those funerals and like still feeling awkward because like I was happy, but I was also sad.
Right.
And I think like in a weird way that helped us get through the pain of losing our grandmothers.
Yeah, sure. You're in love. You were in love.
Yeah.
This wasn't your gram that you talk about all the time, right?
No, this was my father's mother. And it was really funny because I always talk about how my family is very short on men. Like we have a lot of women in my family. So I had to ask Timmy, who I've been dating for 3 months, if he would be a pallbearer at my grandmother's funeral.
Oh, wow.
And he did it. And that told me everything I needed to know about him.
Sure, of course he did. He's a stand-up guy.
I could have asked my ex-husband, who I had been with for 11 years, and he wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I get it. I get it.
So funeral brought us together. And then just quick add-on to that, his grandmother, like I said, died a week or two later. Same church, same funeral home, because they were both old Catholic Polish women. And the funeral director says to Timmy, "Do you do this for a living?" Because he showed up to be a pallbearer at that funeral.
Imagine, oh my God, that should be a part-time gig for us. We could just go be professional pallbearers.
You know what? I would thrive as anything related to funerals. I'm really good with people when they're in pain. I'm really good at that. It's like a little trick I have.
Can we start a funeral home but not have to deal with the dead people? I don't want to deal with the bodies. But I feel like we could support people.
Yes, like we can outsource
the mortuary stuff to our funeral home. This might be too much work.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. So, speaking of dead, so Kalani and Asuelu are over.
Yes, speaking of dead, let's talk about Kalani and Asuelu's marriage.
Kalani says, she says this to the camera, "Asuelu has shown me who he is. So why do I keep giving him chances to show me someone else?"
Right, because he's never going to.
This girl's been listening to Queen Brene Brown.
Yes, she's figuring it out. She is Maya Angelou. She's figuring this out. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And he has shown her over and over and over again.
Isn't she on the Plexus journey too? Is it
Kalani?
her?
I don't think so. Molly.
Okay.
Molly's on Plexus.
I feel like I've seen Kalani with Janelle and Christine in the real
Molly
world.
With Janelle and Christine.
Okay, because we need her to. She's in Utah. We need her to get over to Janelle.
Right.
Like, Cody has shown you who he is.
Right, exactly. We can support ourselves through these shitty marriage divorce situations.
So now we have a group scene. The couple's at Ed and Liz's invitation, head over to the Sunset Grill.
Right.
Like, Ed makes it like a thing for us to know that he set this up.
Right.
Dude, it's called a text chain. You just texted the group and said, do you want to meet up at the Sunset Grill?
Right. And everyone said, sure.
Yeah,
and
sure.
that's
So
the
stupid.
party you threw.
Now, Michael is not there. He must be sleeping. And neither is Molly and Kelly.
Mm-mm.
So everyone can tell something's up with Jovi and Yara. And Liz is like, what's up with... Do I not have... Hold on. I screwed something up here. Do I not have their therapy session? I don't have their therapy session. Okay.
Oh.
We can get through it.
We get through it, yeah. Because the therapy session happened before the Sunset Grill.
Yeah. What am I doing? You know what? I probably went into it and skipped them because they were your couples. And
Right.
then realized I
and
was
then you told me not to worry about it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what happened. Cool.
90 day. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Before we get to Sunset Grill, let's go back to Jovi and Yara because they have a quick family therapy
Well, they have
session.
a big family therapy session. Yeah. So we have Mrs.
Yara,
Gwen.
Yara looks
stunning.
Amazing.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that woman is stunning all the time, but this is other level. She looks like she is lit up from within.
Yes. Yes.
Or there's like some stage light that is like right out of camera, like right below her boobs, like just... She is stunning. God.
And again, we are faced to confront the fact that that she thinks Jovi has the upper hand here.
I know.
Like, what?
Though we had confirmation from both Matt and Jake that Jovi is really handsome in person.
We do have confirmation.
But still, no, she has the upper hand here.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So they pipe Miss Gwen in, and I'm happy to see her.
I love Mrs. Gwen.
Mrs. Gwen is not here for this.
No.
Mrs. Gwen is like...
You two need to get your shit together.
You two need to get your shit together. And I feel like Mrs. Gwen has been dealing with Jovi shit for a very long time.
I think so, too. Mm-hmm, and I think they're a little enmeshed.
Mm-hmm,
but Mrs. Gwen is like the one person that Jovi can be read for filth by, and he pays attention.
100%. So Chicken Jenny makes Yara tell Mrs. Gwen about the birth control situation.
Uh-huh.
Super awkward.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to know that, I feel like.
I don't feel like she needs to know that either. I don't know. I understand why this birth control thing is an issue. I understand why Jovi feels betrayed by not knowing this. I completely get it. But also, I just feel like at some level we're shaming Yara about how she's handling her own body. It's just, I don't like any of this. I wish what we were upset about is that, she started taking Pilates and didn't tell him. Like, something.
Yeah.
Something that isn't about her reproductive health. Which is just so personal.
Well, and Mrs. Gwen kind of comes for her about
this. Mrs. Gwen is like, you can't do shit like that. Which I was like, well.
Yeah, like, you should be honest with your husband. Which I'm not saying she's wrong.
Right.
Deciding whether or not to have another child is a mutual decision.
Generally speaking, yes.
But Yara does not need his permission to take birth control. No. But she should tell him.
She should tell him.
Out of, just open communication.
Agreed.
Like, I'm just letting you know this. Okay. Not asking his permission.
No.
But just letting him know. So now we find out that Jovi has a
secret. Which I think this is a worse secret.
This is a big secret.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Gwen is kind of the one who presents the secret. She's like, Jovi, you guys need to be more honest with each other. For example, why don't you tell Yara
that big thing
you told me and the thing that you couldn't tell her?
Yes.
And Chicken Jenny's like, what? And I feel like Miss Gwen was running this.
Yeah, Mrs. Gwen had an agenda for this session.
So the secret is that a few months ago, Jovi was offered a job that would have kept him home more. And he turned it down. An
office job. And he turned it down.
Amanda, thoughts?
Okay. He should have told her about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is too big of a thing to not tell her about. Mm-hmm. I also understand why he said no.
Me too.
And I understand his reasoning of thinking he can be a more engaged and present parent because he goes away for like 3-4 weeks at a time. And then he comes home and he doesn't work for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I can go to the playground with Mila at 3 in the afternoon.
I could go to school functions.
I can do all the parenting things that I could not do if I had an office job. He's like, if I have an office job, I get to see you guys for 2 hours. Like, I think he's thinking like over the span of a month. If he has an office job, he spends less time with his family than he does if he stays on his oil rig job. The problem is, Yara sees this as, I am alone for a month. Yes, you show back up every month, which is great, and I'm happy for it. But half the time, I am alone with this baby, and you want me to have another baby?
Yes, they both have valid points here.
They do. They absolutely do.
Now,
And
when they're talking about this later, there is this little background side conversation that I don't know if we were supposed to hear. Somebody says, I think it's Ed. Jovi's talking to him, and I hear Ed go, okay, so it's a financial decision then. So it sounds like this would have been a pay cut.
Probably. I would think so. Because, I mean, he's like some underwater camera engineer operator dude.
Crazy.
I don't know what the hell it is he does, but I have to think whatever that is more specialized and pays more than probably the job he would get is scheduling all these people or coordinating all of this stuff versus doing it. And I think the doing it makes more money.
Yeah. And I think that, let's face it, Yara likes a certain lifestyle.
She does.
And if I were Jovi, that'd be the first thing I would say to her. Are you willing to give up your hair treatments, your nail treatments, your wardrobe budget,
your extensions and all that stuff?
That's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
She's not going to want to do that.
I think Jovi likes to live at a certain level. They travel, they do stuff.
And I think Jovi, he reminds me of, I've been watching too much 1883.
Oh God. Okay.
He is a wild Mustang, and you don't break a wild Mustang. You just let them be who they are. You don't break them.
I see.
And Jovi likes a little bit of like, I go away and I get my guy time and, I'm doing shit out there. No one knows what I'm doing and I'm away.
Yep.
We saw he needed a break from Yara after 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people who have marriages like this where one is gone and one isn't, and it works. It works.
Yeah, it does.
So maybe he's like, this is working.
Yeah. He might be afraid of what happens when he has to spend every single day at home.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that.
I get
it. He just needed to talk to her about it. I'm not saying the decision would have been any different, but he needed to discuss it with her because this impacts so many different parts of their lives.
But Yara's upset about it and she starts to cry.
Yeah.
Because I think Yara's initial gut reaction is, you're rejecting me.
He doesn't want to be home with
me. She's not thinking, rationally about it in the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So I think she'll get there.
I think so too.
But I think, for right now, and they, it's not good. It's not good. They're fighting. It's super tense.
Yeah.
Is this where we see them go back to the hotel room and they get into it?
That's later. That's after the strip club.
Okay. I probably have that.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm all over the place, guys.
Okay. So now we're back at the Sunset Strip Grill.
Full disclosure. I told Amanda, I got this. I got notes on this. And I got half the notes. Okay.
That's okay. We got it.
All right. So now we're back at Sunset Grill. Now, Michael, not there.
Nope, no Michael.
Like I said.
And Angela's in a horrible outfit.
Yeah.
This woman cannot dress herself to save her life.
She needs an intervention. Like I said, Molly and Kelly are not there. Everyone can see something's up with Jovi and Yara. Like, they just come in and they have,
they've sad face. Yeah, sad faces.
And Liz is like, what's wrong with Barbie and Ken? Uh-oh, what's going on here? I thought that was perfect.
I think it's funny that they call them Barbie and Ken, because they kind of are.
Jovi tells them about the therapy session with Mrs. Gwen. And he says he's learning a lot from therapy, and they're really working on their communication, because that is what is going on here.
That's the problem, yeah.
I wrote Yara is kind. I don't know why. Like, I think she's like kind in the way she talks about what's going on between them.
Yeah.
And he's
they love each other. They really do.
They do. They do.
When they first came into our lives, those many years ago, I wasn't sure how much they loved each other, or if they just love banging each other.
He is fucking wild about her.
Yes.
He's wild about her. Yeah. And there's a very selfish part of Jovi who, again, Poodle talks about this a lot. He's been immersed in this culture, this New Orleans kind of, crawfish culture, if we'll call it. And Creole culture, but I like to call it
Cajun.
crawfish culture.
Yeah, it's fine. Crawfish culture.
He where you'd find a crawfish. Jovi is used to being the center of attention. Mrs. Gwen has done this to him. Women have probably done this to him for the majority of his life.
Yep.
However, I don't think that he would ever put that above Yara. I think if Yara said to him, I will leave you if you don't take this job, that he would take it.
I think he would too.
Like, I think at the end of the day, she trumps everything for him. I really do believe that.
I think so too.
So, all right. Angela pipes in here with a bad take. Damn, Jovi, you don't hide what's going on with the job. The kids need their dad there too. You can't be a meemaw all alone and not have the papa there. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I know. I wish she would stop with the goddamn meemaw shit.
Here you go, Angela. Pro tip. Don't give anyone parenting advice.
No. One of your children spent a lot of time in prison. Don't.
So, at the bar, Jovi and Asuelu have an aside. And Jovi says, I'm sad. Yara and I are really struggling. We're working on it, but we're struggling. But my problems are much smaller than yours. So how's your disaster of a life?
Right. You're really fucked over there. So, we just can't communicate, but thankfully we have a good therapist in Chicken Jenny. She's going to help us out here.
Yep.
You can't keep your dick out of random women. So you got bigger problems than I do, boy. So let's talk about it.
Yes. So Asuelu says Kalani is not forgiving him.
Nope.
And he tells Jovi that, he gave her the hall pass and he now realizes, and he says, Asuelu, you are such a fucking idiot. And then he says, look at Kalani over there. Look how fucking beautiful she is. Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen after this. And, in many ways, Kalani's right. Like, you're just realizing this now?
Yeah.
She's been here all along.
Yep.
Been here all along.
Exactly. And she's just like, it's 10 too many.
Yes.
I think if he had moved to the US and been loyal, she would have forgiven what happened in Samoa before he got here.
Agreed.
I think she could rationalize it in her head going, we weren't together. We weren't in the same place.
He was immersed in that culture.
He was in that culture. But once he got to the US where we don't apparently have affairs constantly, like what seems to happen in Samoa, or Samoa. I don't know how to say it properly.
I like to say Samoa.
Like chamois, but I don't want to say it wrong, but I know we say Samoa. And they say it differently.
Simone backdoor friends, we're sorry for offending you.
Yeah.
We're trying not to.
Sorry. But I don't really know what she can do at this point. She can't get it back, even if she wanted to.
No. She's like my gram says, when you have enough, you know it. She knows it.
She knows it.
It's over. So Asuelu tells the camera he doesn't know if Kalani wants a divorce or what, like what's going to happen. But I feel like she doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do if that has happened.
Yeah. And he asks for a hug and says, hug me like you love me.
And she can't do it. Can't do it.
And I know that feeling of I'm hugging you because I have to, not because I want to. And I'm phoning this hug in.
Yeah, it's bad. And after that, after he asked her for the hug, she tells the camera she's still pissed about the messages being deleted. And she thought that was super shady. And she's torn between making it work for her kids or being with Hall J. Pass and finding happiness.
Be happy. Here's my advice to everybody. Your kids will be happier if you are happier. Now, I'm not saying there are times where that does not happen. Like if you just go fuck off to Vegas and you're now happy in Vegas and you've abandoned your children, not the same thing. But
looking at you, Ashley and Jay.
if you are a present parent and a good parent and your child sees you happy, they will be happier. Don't stay together for the kids. Never stay together
for the kids. Unless you financially have to.
Yes.
And there are instances where you might have to. But
Kalani's not one of those.
But you can work towards getting out of there.
That's right. Go get yourself a job, whatever you need to do.
That little side savings, if
That's
you know what I mean.
That's right. Get cash back at the grocery store all the time and stick that in an envelope in your underwear drawer.
Yep. Put it right under the vibrator. No one will bother.
That's right. That's right. Because I'm pretty sure Asuelu isn't worried about her pleasure. So
no. So now Molly shows up and everyone's like, "Where's Kelly? Where's Kelly?" And Molly says Kelly left and she feels like she can breathe for the first time. And she also says she thought if someone could help them, it might work. But, she's 47. She doesn't want to keep doing this rodeo. And she thinks she's just going to go home.
Yeah.
And Jovi says, I love Jovi. I just do.
I know.
Maybe you'll feel better when you go home. Just know you gave it your all. Thanks, Jovi.
Thanks, Jovi, for that deep and passionate insight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll feel better at home. And actually, he's not wrong because quite often, you just want to go home. But
you just want to go home.
I think Molly would have benefited from sticking around for a while and getting a little bit more therapy. But
she could use it.
And she could spend more time with Dr. Hottie McHot.
Yes. Start making moves there.
Seriously.
So Yara and Jovi have this confessional and they look super somber. Mm-hmm. And Yara says, I saw this coming with Molly and Kelly. Yeah. And Jovi says, this really makes it real. Everyone is not going to leave here in a better place. And we really need to fix our marriage.
I think these two are going to leave in a better place. They're both dedicated to the process.
I think they came in thinking we're fine, nothing's wrong. And I do believe at their core they're fine.
Yeah. But I do
think there are issues they need to work. Everybody could benefit from couples therapy, even if you have the best marriage.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So later we see Molly packing up and she says she's glad she came and she uncovered some past traumas. And I'm like what? Can we see these? Can we talk about them,
please?
We see Molly leaving and her hair is just down and parted in the middle. And she's like, no makeup on. And I was like, who is this person?
I know, she
did not know who it was.
She looked bad.
She looked like she'd been through the ringer.
Yeah, she's not doing well. Do you think her past trauma was the owls?
Her past trauma was Luis. For
sure. He's definitely part of her past trauma, but
the owl thing, I never forget.
Oh, I'll never.
Where you were when you saw that scene.
And I could not wait till Todd got to that part of them. I was like, just wait. What? There's no Jesus here. There's owls. What is happening?
And Molly, just screaming and feeling so gaslit in the moment is like,
what are you even talking about?
One of the peak all-time moments of 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to come in the top 10, greatest, weirdest things on 90, it's in the top 10. The owl, the owl fight. It might not
be in the top 5, but it's in the top 10.
It's in the top 10, yeah.
So she says in her voiceover, love is not always patient. Mm-hmm. Love is not always kind. And it requires effort and it requires humbling yourself.
Yeah.
So there you go. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back with more Kalani and Asuelu.
Sounds great.
Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. Okay, we're back. So now we have real ominous music.
Yeah.
And there is a sepia tone over the entire resort.
Apparently, Matt Sharp doesn't do Plathville. I was going to say, though, we seem to have discovered Plathville's a mess, but we seem to have discovered the sepia tone. Whoever's doing the editing has found that button on the board and is like, ooh.
Lay off, guys. Lay off. Yeah. So it's the next morning, and Asuelu tells us he cannot find Kalani. Yeah. And again, we see this little panic in Asuelu because he knows something's up. Yeah. He just has a feeling.
And he said, Kalani says she can't sleep without her children. So now we know why she brought these fucking kids.
Yeah. They 100% still sleep in the bed with her.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So he texted her that morning.
I don't think Whole J Pass will enjoy that.
No. He texted her that morning and she said she was having breakfast, but she didn't respond beyond that. So he ran over to Kalini's room and she's not there either.
Right.
And he's freaked out and he feels like something isn't right.
And I sort of get, I'd be freaked out if I didn't know where my kids were.
Oh, 100%.
That's the thing that would be freaking me out. Where the fuck are my kids?
Yeah, it's...
No, they probably were with Kalani at the breakfast buffet.
Oh, I love a good breakfast buffet.
Mm-hmm, I love a good
And Kalani is like, I don't like being caught in the middle of this.
Yeah.
But I'm ride or die for my sister, so... whatever. So Kalani is now in her room, and she's doing the old, what's wrong? What's everybody freaking out about?
I'm here.
happening. Mm-hmm.
I was just having breakfast.
And Kalani comes over and she's like, Asuelu was freaking the fuck out this morning. Like, we need to get our story straight. We need to figure out what's going on here.
And Kalani says she
And,
needs to tell him the truth.
Yeah. And Kalani tells the camera that Kalani went off property and spent the night somewhere else. And Asuelu knows. Dun, dun, dun.
At first, I wasn't sure if Hall J. Pass was going to be there. I could see in her brain of just, I just need to get away and just think for an evening. That wouldn't have shocked me at all.
Yeah, sure.
But no, that's not what happened.
So now we have a girls' trip. I love that the girls are waiting for their car, and Yara's like, I'd prefer a limo.
Right. Like,
what's going on here?
Yeah, this is trash. This is not fancy enough.
Have you ever done like drinking in a limo, like driving around drinking in a limo?
Yeah. A couple years ago, my best friend, for her 45th birthday, her husband got a limo and got us like wine tastings at like 3 wineries. Loaded up, and so we got driven around all day.
Driven around.
Probably was driven by the end. And then we went out to dinner and it was great. Yeah. Felt very fancy. There was like a light. There was like laser lights in the limo. It was very, very fancy.
My mom got married in Vegas when she got married the second time.
Okay.
And none of us were there. So she decided when she came home that she would get a limo. And this was right after my divorce. So I was kind of in a wild space as well.
Okay.
Put a pin in that.
Okay.
So she decided she would get a limo, pick us all up, and we would go bar hopping.
Okay.
There was a bunch of people. It was her and her new husband and a couple of their friends. And then I was there. And I think one of my friends was there. Can't really remember who was
Got
there.
it. We see where this is going.
There was something about the motion of the car and 17 gallons of cheap wine that I drank that just ended with everybody projectile vomiting in a parking lot at the end of the night, because I don't remember going into many bars. I think we ended up just driving around.
Right. Drinking. Oh, boy.
I'm like, nope, never happening again.
No. No. Yeah. No, we didn't. We didn't have that experience.
Yeah. It wasn't good. Didn't go good.
Okay.
So the Uber's picking them up. Yara says she'd like a limo. Yara asks the girls in the limo if they're planning on getting drunk. And Angela's like, hell yeah, I am. And Kalani's like, I'm getting fucking shit-faced.
Right. I've had a time.
From the level of drunk I'm getting. And I will say, I have done this in my life where I've been like, I'm going out tonight to get drunk.
Yep.
And I do it. And it doesn't happen a lot. You know what I mean? Like Timmy and I, we go out like almost every weekend and have a few drinks, but I have like 2 and I'm fine. But if I say I'm going out to get drunk, you better look out. It happens.
I'm tying one on.
So Kalani says she needs a drink or 5. They're heading to Havana Cabana. They all throw their little bags down and they flag over a waiter who Angela immediately objectifies.
God, she was so gross and inappropriate, as always. As always. And if Michael did any of this, she would kill him.
Could you imagine? She would fly there. I almost said to Ukraine. She would not fly to Ukraine.
No, she'd fly to Nigeria because that's where Michael is.
Fly to Nigeria and she would punch him in the face.
And then just fly home.
So Angela orders a drink that she created. It's called the Michael. And it looks like shit, but it's sweet. Now, I tried to write down what was in this drink, but I don't know if I have it right. It's a shot of vodka.
Yep.
A shot of Malibu rum.
Yes.
Pineapple. Grenadine.
I think so.
And then there was something else.
I have to admit it sounded like a good beach drink.
But that's a strong fucking drink.
That is a strong fucking drink.
Strong drink. Yeah. I was like, So now the producer puts a cue card in front of Yara and says, ask Kalani this question. Yara's in her headset like, oh, ask it now. Okay, I'm ready.
It's like all this the leaked Zoom footage. It's like the leaked Zoom footage. Barbara.
Oh God, do you remember that?
Yes.
Hashtag never forget. That's another one. When someone leaked the 30 hours of tell-all footage
of the Zoom COVID tell-all. Jesus. With baby girl Lisa.
Yara goes, so Kalani, we saw Asuelu this morning and he was very upset. Why was he upset this morning?
Here's your card. Thank you. Did I do that right?
And Kalani's like, okay, well, here's the story.
Here's what happened.
Once I saw Asuelu deleting the texts,
Yep.
I unblocked Mr. Hall J. Pass, who then began to profess his love for me. And apparently hopped on a plane and flew to the Florida Keys. And I spent the night with them. Dun, dun, dun. Everybody's like, what?
Fucking move. Liz is like, what?
Yeah.
They all had Pikachu face.
I mean, just to be in couples counseling for cheating and to cheat during the cheating couples counseling is next level shit.
It is next level shit. And then she's happy she did it. She doesn't have a single regret. That girl got her bell rung but good.
Do you think this was all fraudacity? That she and Asuelu were already done?
Oh, maybe.
Like, let's not pretend Asuelu is in on this.
No, because he wouldn't be.
No.
He's too dumb. She couldn't let him in on it because he can't act through that. He's too dumb. There's no way he could do it.
No. You'd be like, Kalani, is this the time when I'm supposed to see? She'd be like, shut up.
Kalani, is this the session where I'm supposed to tell you I cheated? That's tomorrow, Asuelu. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't work.
So, do you think it's fraud?
I think she's conflicted. I do. I think it's just about her kids. If she didn't have kids, he would be long gone. I think she unblocked Mr. Hall J. Pass sooner than she actually did. That's where I think the fraudacity is. I think he flew in a little earlier, just because there's no way in which she could see Asuelu doing the text thing in the morning, unblock Hall J. Pass, have this whole conversation.
He gets immediately to an airport.
Right.
I wonder if I could Google where he lives.
And there's a flight immediately that gets him to, I think your options pretty much to fly here. Well, actually, I think your options are you fly to Miami or you fly to Key West. Let's see. I think Marathon's a lot closer to Miami, though. Let's see. We're doing, this is on the spot journalism, people. This is important.
It says he's a 28-year-old California native.
Okay.
So is he flying from California?
And if he is, then it's even more so. Like, he can't get there. Okay, Marathon is about 2/3 of the way down the Keys.
Right. So you can't fly into Key West. You have to fly into Miami and drive.
Right, exactly. Because even if you do fly to Key West, you're most likely connecting through Miami.
Yeah.
So, or wait, no. Let's see. This is important stuff. How far is Miami?
So California to Miami. Miami.
And then the drive from Miami to Marathon is, hold on, 2.5 hours.
Okay, so you're looking at probably
it's a day of travel.
Flight. If he's in LA, he could probably get a direct flight.
It's still a 6-hour flight, 7-hour flight.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hold on. Flight time from,
because for me it's a 5-hour flight to California.
Yes, but we're okay. Las Vegas. Not in Las Vegas. Jesus Christ. Los Angeles. I don't hate you at all.
Doesn't know geography.
Oh God. To Miami.
LA to Miami.
Los Angeles, Miami. 5 hours.
Okay. So 5-hour flight, 2-hour drive. You're looking at a whole day. You're looking at Hall J. Pass putting in a shift to go and see Kalani.
And everything would have to have time, like, aligned properly. Like, he would have, flights are all sold out at this point. Like, he would have to have gotten the one.
He's flying like Spirit Airlines standby.
Yeah.
He's like, they're strapping him into the luggage compartment.
He's in a big dog crate with the luggage.
Unless.
Uh-oh.
Did Daddy Sharp send a plane for him?
No, Daddy Sharp's too cheap.
Daddy
Sharp's way too cheap for that shit. He's already paid for this resort and these therapists. This show's already too expensive for Daddy Sharp.
Do you think he paid for the resort, or do you think he gave them a discounted rate?
I mean, this resort is getting a shit ton of advertising.
I know. They probably charged him half the rate.
Every episode, they're there's their branding somewhere. So they're getting
it's
a lot.
working on me.
We're going. We got to go. We need a Little Miss Recap retreat there.
Although I need to make sure, write down the room numbers these weirdos are staying in,
I don't want to be in
and
them.
we're avoiding those.
Yeah. No, there's bad juju there.
Yeah. All right. So Hall J Pass is there next week. Let's see what we have going on next week. Okay.
Next week we have the strip club finally.
Kalani is sobbing. Angela's comforting her.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have some kind of group session, something. Kalani walks away from it. Angela follows her and is comforting her.
Kalani's in the same outfit that she's in when they go to that bar. She's in that green dress.
Okay.
So I think it's the same day. I think we have drunk Kalani falling apart.
Okay. All right. Jovi calls Liz. She answers on speakerphone. She's with all the girls.
Right.
He's like, hey, it's Jovi. Would you give Ed permission to come to the strip club with us? And don't tell the girls.
Right. And all the girls are like, oh, for fuck's sake, Jovi.
Then we see them at the strip club, and Michael is on Ed's phone. So Michael's coming to the strip club
too.
Even Michael's like, I'm hanging up. And he gets off.
I am not getting in trouble for this.
Nope.
Angela and I are doing well. I have the app to. We're good.
Yep. Then we have Yara flipping out on Jovi. Now,
yes,
I think this is going to be the fight where we see. Oh, I don't know. Did we do that already? When she said you've brought somebody else into our bed? Was that about
Angela?
It
was Angela.
Okay. I think that she is going to be more angry over this being a stripper that he knew.
Yeah.
And texted.
Yeah.
Than a random strip club.
Exactly. Right? And she's like, I understand why she feels like she's not enough. This is part of why she thinks she's dating up. Because he goes to strip clubs. Why does he need to go see naked women? Why isn't she enough for him?
But it's not.
That's not what it is.
That's not what it's about.
No, he just likes the atmosphere. Yes, he likes to look at naked ladies.
But it's also part of his identity as like a good old boy.
Yep.
Like that. He likes hanging with his bros.
Yep. And that's where they go and do it.
He's a bro. Jovi's a bro.
Yes. He's a bit of a fuckboy.
He's a crawfish bro.
He's a crawfish bro. He's a crawfish fuckboy. Crawfish fuckboy. CFFB.
I need a t-shirt with that on it. I'm crawfish fuckboy. The fuck?
If we ever need merch, this is what we're doing. Crawfish fuckboy.
All right, so we're done.
Yes.
Like I said, this ends, according to my TLC source, this is going to run just till the end of October, so I only think we have 3 more episodes.
Yeah, I think we're just getting 12 for this. And it seems like they're wrapping up. They did say they've been there for a week, though. So we got that this episode. Because remember last week when we talked to Matt, I was wondering, did Molly and Kelly break up on the 3rd day or on the 13th day? What did that look like? So we're a week in.
All right, so Amanda, what else do we have going on? We have Sister Wives, that's on Patreon. We have Married at First Sight, which will be starting, I think October 18th is the first episode.
Okay.
So Steph and I will be covering that. That will be dropping on Patreon. I will drop the first one on the free feed as a try before you buy.
Awesome.
And then the rest will be on Patreon. And I don't even know. Oh, I think we're going to drop them on Fridays. I was going to say I don't know what day, but it's going to be on Fridays because I reached out to the publicist and I'm like, can I get screeners? And she was like, oh yeah, let me just hear a couple episodes of your show first.
Okay.
Crickets.
What's it? Yikes.
Sent it like 2 weeks ago. No response.
Oh,
so boy. Little Miss Recap is not approved.
Apparently not.
To get the screeners.
Screeners.
So Steph and I have to watch it in real time, which will be Wednesday nights, Thursday mornings, and take notes and do all that. So those will be dropping on Fridays.
Are you and Stephanie doing all of the Golden Bachelor, or did you just drop one episode because you just wanted to chat about it?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
It depends on how good it gets. I think I don't know.
I enjoyed.
Would you like to be in on talking about it too?
I could be in on talking about it. I'm enjoing it. I'm not a Bachelor girly. I don't really know much about the Batch.
Nope.
But I'm enjoying this. Before I knew that there'd be issues with the bunk beds because of knee replacements, and someone brings that up.
I did not see this. I did not see episode 2. Did you see episode 2?
I did. We watched it last night.
Okay. Did not see it. Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, these ladies can't be getting up on bunk beds. They've got replaced knees. And literally someone is like,
beloved seniors.
Right. Literally, someone was like, I can't do that. I have a replacement.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the good Amy, the sweet part of Amy is like, I love Gary. I need to see how this goes. He needs to find love, protect him at all costs.
Yes.
Then there's the evil side of me that's like, I need to see this go spectacularly wrong.
I do.
need to see how bad this goes.
I know.
And I don't know why I need to see that.
I don't think it's going to go badly, though. I think this might be the good thing we all need.
I hope so. I do hope so, because the good Amy way outweighs the bad Amy. But there's a little element of like, what's going to happen here?
I was listening to Kim and Kyle recap this, and they're like, we can't Google this man. If we find out there's something wrong with him, we can't handle it. So we only want to believe good about this man.
I have never been so excited about a boomer male in my life. I'm like super excited about this dude.
Except he's not a holdie.
He is not a holdie. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But we did say he's a glampa.
He is a glampa.
Yeah.
He is a glampa.
Sticking with it.
I won't. I mean, it's not giving anything. I like the fact that he like brings up his grandkids and like they're like all chatting about their grandkids. I'm like, I like this. I like
it too. I like it too. And I've always had an affinity for old people. I was very close to my grandmother. My girls were like raised by a bunch of old women. We love it. We love old people.
People are good.
I'm here for this. Yep. All right, girl. So if you haven't already, guys, jump in Backdoor Friends. That's our Facebook group. Join our Patreon, Little Miss Recap Extra. The links are in the show notes, and support us. Keep us going.
Please,
and
send us a review.
I will tell you that we got a 5-star review, and they said, and this is a masterclass in how to review people, guys.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited.
They said, we love Amy and Amanda. Love whatever. The show. I don't know if they called us out by name, but love the show. Don't always agree with them, but still love them.
That's it.
That's how you do it.
You don't have to agree with us. Just love us.
That's how you do it. We're not for everyone.
Nope. And that's okay.
So if you want to leave a 1-star review, just mail that to me separately.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Amanda, where can we find you?
In the show notes is where you can find me.
You live in the show notes?
I live in the show notes now. You can also find me a little bit on Blighty Day this week, so that's exciting. And hopefully we'll get Michelle, but that'll be a Sister Wives thing because she's not a last resort watcher.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.